Thank you, Thomas. It's Faith Time, our weekly conversation on matters of faith. And joining us this morning is the Reverend Jeremy Steele with Christ United Methodist Church in Mobile. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, what we're here to talk about this morning is that you guys are going to be starting a service geared specifically to 19 to 35-year-olds. Why did your church want to focus on that group of young professionals?
Well, it's really simple. The service is called the High Point Service, and the Pew Forum's done a bunch of research. This generation, this group of young adults is particularly absent from the church. And, I think that's something that people expect to hear, right? That young adults aren't coming to church as much as the older adults. But it's really uniquely low in this generation. There's about 18% of them that attend church, whereas there's about 26% of boomers did when they were that same age. And what's even more troubling is that the research is showing that as they grow older, as they have children, you expect them to come back, they aren't. And so it's often kind of an institutional response where people say, well, the church might die. Well, and that's kind of a lame excuse, response, because for me, it's a spiritual problem. What people are missing out on in that age when they're not part of church is that deep spiritual community. And this is that time in somebody's life when they're making huge life decisions like career, marriage, and they aren't getting the benefits of a Christian community to help them do that and be empowered by the Spirit. So,
all right, so let's talk about how does someone's faith needs differ when they're in this young professional group as opposed to maybe your general congregation?
That's a great, and the research has the same sort of guidance on it. We know why they aren't here, what's driven them away, and we also know kind of what they're looking for. Number one, people say that the church is hostile to people who doubt. And then from there, you ask them about the community feel when they attend church. They say it feels like people sharing space at a public event, but not people who are really there for each other. When you ask them about worship, what the worship was like, the number one response is boring. And
you don't want to have that.
Not at all. Which, to be honest, I've been part of boring worship services in my past. I understand that. And then ultimately, the research is talking about when we talk about what's important about the church, what the church should be doing. The difference is huge. People who go to church say biblical moral values, Bible teaching. These people who don't go to church say clothing the naked, feeding the hungry, basically everything Jesus says in Matthew 25.
So talk to us about how will this service and kind of its format be different?
Well, that's a key. So we started with that research, trying to figure out how we can do church differently so that it meets the needs of these young adults. One is a huge focus on community, significant time in the service, and then we're going to push out into the rest of after the service into restaurants and things like that. We're going to be honest about the fact that basically everybody there has doubts about their faith. So every time during the service, we're going to recognize that the people on the platform have had doubts, and in fact that we feel like doubts are an indication of spiritual health.
We want to do a quick plug before we run out of time. When will this start?
August the 24th. It's going to be on Thursdays at 7 p.m. You can find it all out at highpointal.com.
We'll have that on our website later this morning. And Reverend Jeremy Steele with Christ United Methodist Church in Mobile, thank you so very much for joining us for this edition of Faith Time, and News 5 this morning will continue after the break.
Faith Time.